And the other thing is, for those I work with who negotiate ransom, is that when they get to the point of we have to actually pay something, who is authorized in the organization to make that monetary decision? Who is authorized to make that monetary transfer? Because these are things that aren't considered ahead of time. And so when it comes time, everyone's kind of like, I don't know, do you do it? Do I do it? Like, I don't know where to do it. And so it's some just really basic blocking and tackling things that I think that can help people, because you're a little bit panicked. And even people who are seasoned, if it's a fairly severe incident, it's difficult to remember all the things that weren't written down. And so some of those just basic components, having the checklist, having it printed, and knowing who's authorized to do what and when to make decisions. Do we have to start notifying people? What is the time limit? If we think we've lost data, how much time do we have before we have to notify the public or notify an authority so that we don't get fined, right? And those things are, you could print them off the internet. They're out there, and I think that just knowing the trigger points of when timelines of when things have to occur that are outside your realm of control, like regulatory issues, that those are the things that people can start with to at least build that framework.
Well, and I think that makes it a conversation that's portable and possible even for people that might not be security experts, because, as you said, a lot of that publicly available information on what is mandated for reporting, the timeframes, the formats, I apologize, the formats and forms that have to be used, all of those things are, and of course, if you can't find them, working with a breach coach or getting legal help that understands cyber law and breach notification is always a good idea. But anybody can go to your state website to look at the local privacy laws, look at what is actually required, and have that conversation with your executive team before that stuff happens, ideally, so that, to your point, we're not in a situation where, oh, well, who's paying the ransom? Who's authorizing this? Who's contacting the insurer? Who's, rallying the troops? Who's calling our IT company? Who's calling our incident response partner? Like, all of those things are important to understand before there's that actual problem. And I think that's a great call out to your point.
Yeah, and something to add, because this is new and a lot of people aren't aware of it, is that many states that already have in place fairly significant privacy laws, New York, California, Nevada, Texas, Massachusetts, amongst others, I have everybody go and double check to make sure that there haven't been updates. And especially if you are marketing organizations or organizations that track cookies, because now MAC addresses and IP addresses that are attached to devices like my device or your device are actually considered now PII. And so if you have an incident where, even if you've encrypted the data around name, address, other sensitive information, health information, if you have not encrypted how you obtained that information from the individual, you may still be subject to fine. So just go back and check the privacy laws. As Stephen said, that there have been many updates, and there are many people who are not aware of how broadly they have spread out.